Hey everybody, it's Alexia from Mystic's Path, back with another video for you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching. Now, this is not an energy video or a pick a card video. This is a message that I really felt that I needed to share on a larger level. Okay, and this message is for my people that are self-accountable and self-aware, and the struggles that are faced within that nobody else is really talking about. People on the internet aren't really talking about what all comes with being self-aware and being self-accountable, only that it will get you to where you're trying to go. It will get you to the better life that you're trying to live, or it will bring you peace in your life. But they're not talking about the struggles that you face within that, especially for my people that suffer with anxiety or depression or things of that sort. Because a lot of times, even if you don't have depression or anxiety, there's it's like a war going on in your brain for those of us that don't have these issues. So when we're looking at people who do have depression and anxiety, it's even more of a war than what they're already fighting within their brain alone. Now, when we're looking at this and being self-aware and some of the issues that we have, a lot of times it comes down to a point where you get very frustrated because you're trying to live your best life, you're trying to make good decisions, you're trying to be accountable of what you're doing for yourself, but as well as for others. What is your decision? How are your decisions going to make other people feel? And it kind of makes a confliction within us. Or when we get hurt or things are going really bad and we have a lesson to learn and we're trying to remain positive and we're trying to see the silver lining, sometimes you might have thoughts of ideas like, this is too much, I can't do this. Being positive really sucks. Being self-aware is hard. It really sucks. It's not even worth it. When it is worth it, but the times that you're in or what you're facing just make it seem like it's not. And people on the outside don't really understand this struggle, especially if they're quite self-destructive or don't know what it is to be self-aware or accountable for one's actions. And it's also coming from a place where you're trying to build, and is this decision going to work out for me well? Is this decision in my best benefit? How is it going to, affect my, boyfriend or husband or mom or sister or brother by making this decision? Because we're looking at being accountable in all aspects. A lot of us aren't really moving from a place just for ourselves. We're trying to be a good person all the way around. And I have a message that I had pulled from the cards just to give support to my struggling people that are suffering with the hardships of being accountable and self-aware, and to also let you know that you're not alone. A lot of us are going through this. We just aren't comfortable talking about it because we know that it is something that we have to deal with to get to where we're trying to go in life. It's just another obstacle in our way that we have to kind of fight our brains. And for some of us with anxiety and depression, we're already used to this. It just makes what we're already dealing with 20 times worse. And again, nobody is talking about this, so there is no support out there for it really, unless you are talking to somebody that is going through it and you're having a private conversation between two people, but it's not really affecting a large amount of us that, may not have that support or may not have people in their lives that are also self-aware and being accountable. This also means, one, I also want to share the fact that you're human and you can't really be too hard on yourself, because a part of being self-aware and being accountable, sometimes we watch ourselves self-destruct. Sometimes we physically and mentally can see the self-destruction that is going around and know what it's going to take to climb out of the hole that we're putting ourselves in. But the feelings connected to what you're going through is just too much at that time to be able to stop the destruction before it happens. Now, it might not take as long because you're aware that the destruction has happened and you need to get out of it. You might be in that place for a week. You might be in that place for 2 weeks. You might only be in that place for a day. But regardless, it's also a part of beating yourself up and feeling down on yourself because you didn't stop it before it happened, or you weren't 100% in control. And we're human. Sometimes we can only take as much as we can take, as long as we are being accountable and aware of what we're doing and how we need to take it, how we need to get out from that place. But you're not alone, and other people are suffering with this as well. And I really wanted to share that portion of it before I get into the cards that I pulled specifically for my people that are self-aware and self-accountable, that are just tired. Okay? And this is really coming from, you're walking through life. And you're walking through life with other people, and you're trying to be the best person that you can be, and you're trying to be accountable, and you're trying to be self-aware, but you're not 100% sure of the intentions of those around you. And there's this energy of, deception that comes with it, and, other people being toxic and not wanting the best from themselves, let alone for other people, and kind of trying to see where that line is, where it's illusion and where there actually is deception, and trying to make it through making the best decisions that you can, but also coming to this road of crossing over the worry of the deception of others, or what others' intentions are. Their intentions might not be as good as yours, and kind of stepping over that, as well as really looking at what information and what thoughts you're giving attention to, what thoughts you let run wild in your head. Because a lot of times when there's disillusion, or we feel that people aren't being honest, or we're just worried that they're not being honest, our brains will run with that and create a whole different illusion based on your fears that you now have to sit and live in if you're not being fully aware, or you're not fully aware at that time. Or you're watching it happen and you know what's happening, but then you're in a place where you can't figure out if it's you or if it's real, especially if you're an intuitive, because fear can really block out our intuition on a high level. So really knowing that you are, in fact, capable of what you give your time and attention to, and you already know that. But sometimes it is hard when there's a level of deception and things are cloudy and you're not seeing things clearly, that it's hard to decipher what's fear and what's truth. Okay? And ideally, when we get into the cards and what I see for the cards, we get the Nine of Cups. Okay? And Ogun Balindio. And this is saying that ideally you just want happiness. You want happiness for yourself. You want happiness for others. You want to live in a place of happiness and fulfillment. But you're striving really hard and pushing really hard to that. You need to know that there's times when you need to rest, that not all of life is going to be happy and sunshine and rainbows, that at some point you need to rest as well. Okay? And then when we get into the Knight of Wands and the Houndess of Radha, this is showing a great level of determination for what you want in life, whether you are trying to live your best life and make the best decisions because you have a goal and a career goal that you're going after, or just because you want to be an all-around person that is consciously making good decisions. You are very attentive and passionate and determined about what you're going after. And the Houndess of Radha is all about turning her thoughts and her ideas into manifestation into this physical world, and that's what you're working towards. Every time you make a decision to be the better person, to be the better you, to be accountable, to not fall into the craziness and destruction and the chaos that is in your brain, you are then putting yourself one step closer to achieving what it is that you want to achieve. Now, when we are getting into the Six of Pentacles, and I know I'm going through these cards really fast, so if you need to contact me to kind of backtrack, I'm just feeling a lot of energy, so sometimes when I do feel large amount of energy. That's why I keep taking deep breaths. I kind of rush through. So if you do need some clarity and some backtrack, please email me and I will be 100% open to helping you understand more. But we're looking at also the Six of Pentacles and possession. And this is really saying that you're delegating everything that it is you do, every choice that you make, every decision that you make, every thought that enters your head. You're looking at the pros and the cons of this. What is the best decision? What makes it the best decision? Okay, there's this that's wrong in this, but there's this that's right. And then you have to choose from there. And then this is also, there's a lot of strength that what comes within that. And a lot of people don't realize how much strength it is and how much courage it takes to do this, to not just make a decision off of a whim because it feels good to you in the moment. You're literally factoring how it's going to affect you in the future. How's it going to affect you in a month? How's it going to affect you in 10 years? Okay, how's it going to affect the other people around you? And that takes a lot of strength to have to battle with that every day, all day long, to be accountable for yourself and your actions. But every time you weigh your pros and cons, you know what it is that it took to make that decision and that you tried the best that you could in the moment that you were in. You didn't just make a decision and then now you're living with regret. You have thought about it. You've thought about all of the factors that can come in. And a lot of this is very Virgo energy. And a lot of my Virgos will, or if you have Virgo ruling high in your chart as I do, will suffer with this a lot because Virgos are so organized and so goal driven. Okay, not saying that the other signs aren't. It's just very strong within the Virgo zodiac. And sorry about the dogs barking. If you guys can hear it on the camera, my dogs are going crazy downstairs, so I do apologize for that. But really, your happiness, you factor in everything, and your happiness might not be always front line with the decision that you're making, because it's not, you know that it's not ideally always about your happiness right now, because we're always looking towards the future. We're looking to try to better ourselves for the future. What's going to make us a better person today? So that's kind of a lot of times saying no to some of the things that you normally would want to say yes to, or some of the things that you see other people saying yes to, but you know that you have decisions that you have to be responsible for. And a lot of this can be a very big struggle. But I want you guys to know that you're not alone and to keep doing what it is that you're doing. It's worth it. Keep making the decisions that you're making decisions, how you're making the decisions, weighing your pros and cons, because even though it may be hard now, you're going to be a hell of a lot farther in life and where you want to be and closer to where you want to be than the person that only factors in what they want in that moment and is very self-destructive. And even if you fall into a place where you are watching yourself self-destruct, at least you know what it's going to take to get you out of that place and how much it's going to take. Because you might have to retreat to a place because it's been too hard, or you've been working too much, or your brain is frazzled and you just can't handle the mental part of making the best decision for yourself, for others. And you have to kind of retreat into a place that's not the best. Not saying that, like, telling you all that, you know, you should do that. It's that when that does happen, because sometimes it does happen, to not beat yourself up. You're human. Shit happens. Sometimes we watch ourselves self-destruct and have to climb back out of the hole that we put ourselves in. But know what it is that you're doing. Be aware of keep being aware of what it is that you're doing. And keep being aware of the decisions that you make, because it's honestly for your best benefit. And I know that a lot of you have thanked yourself for the decisions that you have made in hard situations and that you've came out on top. So keep that in mind. Now, I hope that this video has spoken to a lot of people and has really helped you. And if you need any clarification or feel that you need a reading for yourself, please contact me. I will be more than happy to work with you. Everybody have a great day.